thanks to the support of channel member Andrew McRobbie. Today we face the second best team in East Asia with a prize in the Asian Champions League final on the line. It's Cerezo Osaka versus, hold on, Beijing Guoan. Don't go on. And they've won the league in China for the last gazillion years. If we have a look at the Chinese Super League, they've won it 6 years in a row. Favourites to win it again. I've not seen how they've been doing in the Champions League. They won it in 2032. So 2 years ago, they won the Champions League. This is our first proper test on our Champions League run, because if we look back at what's been going on since the last episode, I had planned to show you the second legs, but we won our first leg 4-2 against Pohang Steelers, so didn't seem like there was much tension in that second leg. We then play Jeju United, who are from the K-League, and we beat them 4-0 in the first leg, so again, not much tension in that second leg, was there? And now, of course, we are into the semi-final, where it's us against Beijing, and then it's Damak, who are the current holders of the Champions League, against Sepafan of Iran in the West Asia final, effectively the other semi-final. So we're trying to set ourselves up with a final against the team that won it last year by winning a semi-final against the team that won it the year before. We've had an easy run up till this point, but now we actually find out if we were ever good enough to win the Champions League. As you can see, our league season has started nicely as well. We are 38 games unbeaten in the league. We're not actually top of the leagues. We've had a couple of draws in there, and we have done a couple more transfers since the end of the transfer special as well. I think the transfer stream yesterday ended with us signing Goto as our new, I mean, we originally signed him to be the backup goalkeeper. He's now the best goalkeeper at the club by star rating. And I think I'm actually going to play him in this game because Uehara has been, is it Uehara or Uemura? I can never remember the difference. Uemura, sorry. Uemura has been dropping a few clangers in the last few matches. So I think we're going to do something drastic and bring in this fella to start in the Champions League semi-final. He's my go-to guy. We also signed Naoki Yamamoto, who I think we'd arranged to sign, or we're in the process of signing, towards the end of that transfer stream as well. We've not used him yet. He's just here as like a fourth choice striker. And more importantly, Ryuto Takahara, a 21-year-old Japanese international defensive midfielder, which was kind of the missing piece of the puzzle positionally that we needed. To fund all that, we continued selling off the fringe players. Fujiyoshi went to Kyoto for £1.2 million. He was the only really big sale. I mean, obviously, we still sold quite a lot of football boys, but with us throwing so much money on Minami on the Never Never, we are operating on a transfer debt for the first time in the entire save. But let's not worry about any of that. Let's worry about beating Beijing, getting through to the Champions League final, and having a lovely time doing it. So this is the team. We are going with Goto in goal, a back four of Amata, Aprile, Minami, and Matsuyama. Ogihara at the base of the midfield with Yano and Hidaka ahead of him. We've then got Kim Jino on the left-hand side, Ogasawara on the right-hand side, and Okada up front. The strength in depth we've got at this club now is a beautiful thing. Unfortunately, Oscar Solano is going to miss both legs because he's picked up an injury, but Yano's been playing a lot in the league anyway, so it's not a complete disaster. Yepes is probably unfortunate to be missing out. We've got a lot of strength in the attack. We had Okada injured for a few matches, so Moya played a few games for us as well and was okay. Not quite the goal return I was expecting from him just yet, but we have pretty decent backups in all positions at this point. We've just got to hope that we are, as the best team in Japan, better than the best team in China and one of the best teams in all of Asia. I mean, over the last few years, I think they've probably fairly confidently been able to refer to themselves as the best team in East Asia, the last East Asian team to win the Champions League. And now we just need to beat them and get ourselves into the final. Because if we can win the Champions League here, after what feels like 1,000 episodes, we can then head to maybe Africa, maybe North America, maybe South America, and start the next leg of our journey. Not a moment too soon. Kim Jino, with less than a minute on the clock, grabs his 5th goal since signing for us in the transfer window. And it's 1-0. What's that? 35 seconds on the clock. Amata to Yano. Yano to Kim. And I mean, it's actually 40 seconds when the goal goes in, but I would suggest that was quite an impressive start to the game. That's pretty close to ideal. We're fairly happy with that. If we could grab a couple more, then we have been very dominant in our first legs. So if we could grab a couple more, if we could, I mean, we've scored 4 goals in each of the first legs of our knockout round run. If we could do 4 goals again today, it does make things look a lot more comfortable heading towards that potential final against, I mean, I would expect Damak to be the most likely opposition, because I think it's a bit of a cop-out if you play an Iranian team in the final. I feel like that's opposition we can probably handle. I get the impression that the West Asian side of the draw is basically the best Saudi team gets through to the final every single time, because obviously they've got all the money. They've got the European and the South American stars smattered throughout their squads as well. Look at Aprile go. He's 6'3". I mean, he can't run, can he? That was like me running. That was ridiculous. I don't even know why he bothered trying. Just let the ball come back in and be there to head it out would have been a much more useful application of his unique skill set. He's our only enormous boy that we've got. Just be enormous. You don't need to ever run. Just amble up to head the ball in at the other end, hang around the 6-yard box to head the ball away at our end, and just don't ever leave either penalty area. I don't think he's got any reason to step out of either penalty area ever. He's literally just there to head the football. Right, Kim on the left-hand side again. That's a poor pass looking for Okada. But Yano is going to apply a little bit of pressure, try and get the press back going again. And Kim doing more good work. And Hidaka, who's got to be the player of the tournament in this Champions League, he has been fantastic. And it falls to Ogihara. And with 20 minutes gone, it's 2-0, and it's all coming together, boys and girls. It feels like it's been a very long road to get here, and I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched. But I think we are looking good for that spot in the final. And then it just comes down to, right, well, how do we actually compare against a big Saudi Arabian team? And the fact that Beijing won this tournament just 2 years ago, and we seem to be handling them relatively comfortably so far, fills me with hope, boys and girls. I am ready for Asia to be over. Let me know down in the comments. I mean, we might be getting a little prematurely. I'm counting chickens. I said I wasn't going to. I can't help myself. But let me know in the comments what continent you'd head to next. I'm conscious we probably need to tick off Africa sooner rather than later, or it's just going to be so easy when we get there. And there's been rumblings in the comments as well and in the chat on the live stream yesterday about whether we should maybe insert some rules to ensure we've got some difficulty, and potentially, I don't know if we'd do this in Africa, because Africa at this stage is probably still fairly challenging, but maybe certainly when we get to Europe, maybe make it a rule that we can't manage a team that's previously won the Champions League, because obviously by the time we get to Europe, if we've won Champions League on 4 other continents, it kind of takes the sense of achievement away if we go into Europe and manage Real Madrid or Liverpool or somebody. So it might be interesting if we insert that rule for Europe in particular, but maybe we do it for every continent. I mean, we've kind of fluked into it with Osaka. They've never won the Asian Champions League. So maybe we add that rule in now that whatever teams we manage, we're not allowed to manage any team that's ever won their continent's Champions League. What do we think? Or is that madness from a man who's taken, 50 episodes to win the first Champions League? Let's not worry about making it any harder. Let's just crack on. I'm interested in your thoughts. I'm also interested in your thoughts on the concept of the live stream that we did yesterday. When I first announced it, I did get a little bit of heat from some of you that it wasn't at a particularly convenient time. The reason for the timing of it was basically to allow the replay to be sat there at 4 o'clock normal release time. So anyone who didn't want to watch live could just watch it at 4 o'clock as usual. It did mean streaming a little bit earlier in the day than usual. That's a good goal. But yeah, I'm interested in your thoughts. How did you find it? Did you watch it live? Did you watch it on the replay? Did you just ignore it because it was over an hour long? I'll obviously have a look at the analytics as well, but they take a couple of days to come through on YouTube. And at this point, more chicken counting. I'm thinking probably Monday we do another one of those live streams for the Champions League final, assuming we get there. And then I guess what sort of time do we aim for it again? I mean, I'm in the UK, it's a bank holiday on Monday, so I guess a 3 o'clock kickoff again might not be as difficult to attend for those of you with real jobs, other than the fact that you might have plans for Bank Holiday Monday in May, especially if the weather's as nice as it has been. I'm interested. I just want the feedback, boys and girls. It's a new era here on the channel. We're relaunching the live streaming. We're relaunching the Patreon. We're experimenting with new types of content. I'm interested. I'm interested in what you actually want from me as a content creator, because as we talked a little bit about on the stream yesterday, I want to make sure that I cling on and stay relevant as a Football Manager creator as we head towards FM26, and that I don't get completely overtaken with the Lego content, which at the moment is my main source of income now. I make more money off of the Lego content than I do off the Football Manager content currently, which is it's alarming. So I'm interested in your thoughts about what more I could offer you to try and drag the channel back up to its former glory. I've just knocked my little Disney thing over. We've done 4 goals. We said we wanted to do 4 goals. You better give it, ref. We asked for 4 goals. Yepes, who I mentioned before, was unlucky to miss out on playing. Has he? It's only 3 goals. That makes it less impressive. We still want our 4th goal then, please. We don't need to see the replay. What we do need to do is have somebody step up and grab goal number 4. If they score here, all my plans could go out the window. That's good work from Goto. I mean, to be fair, this is his first properly competitive match. He played in a J-League Cup game. He's not played a single league game for us yet, but he's come in today and he's played really well. He's on a 7.4. He's officially, star rating wise, the best goalkeeper we've got. He's a Japanese international, which doesn't apply to either of our other goalkeepers. So I guess he probably is our first choice keeper now. Maybe. Is he? He probably is. He's doing all right, isn't he? Right, Yepes is going to have another go at it. Hit it from there. He does. It's taken a wicked deflection. I think it's gone behind for a corner. So it is going to be the opportunity for a prelay to come forward and do what a prelay does. Although we've decided to go for a pervert corner at the worst possible time. And then Uehara with a terrible attempt at a cross. Who, and you might have noticed, we're reinventing as a central midfielder because there's so much competition on the right wing. That we've been training him to play central midfield, and he has played there a little bit lately. So that might be his opportunity to stick around at the club, because he's not going to get in ahead of the 2 guys who are ahead of him on the right-hand side. But you could always do with more strength in depth at central midfield. And the fact that he can now play in like 3 or 4 different positions for us rather than competing for just that one spot is only going to help with keeping him happy longer term. This is the big test for Goto. 89 minutes, and he does make the save. Round of applause for him. We're having to cling on a little bit to our 3-goal lead at the end here. Beijing have certainly come back into it, demonstrating they might have a little something about them going into this second leg, but a prelay. I said, let's see a prelay doing what a prelay does, and he's done exactly that just there. And I think that should be rubber stamped 3-0 victory. Now we just need to head to China and not balls it up. How hard could that be, boys and girls? Easy peasy. And this is specifically the part of China that we're aiming for. Beijing, I believe, is quite a large city. You may have heard of it. And this is where the stadium is. I didn't realise Beijing was basically a grid like Milton Keynes or New York. But this is the... is that the stadium? No, that's the stadium. I think the Beijing Workers' Stadium is what we're aiming for, which is there. I mean, I can guess from the aerial photo. It's probably not that circle. It is probably this one. Let's have a look to see if we can plop ourselves down in the middle of the stadium and have a little look. They want to get that off. That's going to ruin the grass. Looks like they were setting up for some kind of concert on this day. But there you go. A nice enough stadium. Much bigger than ours. Let's go and see if we can win a football match there, shall we? What is he doing? Oh, it's a selfie stick. I thought he was pointing at his phone with like a really long pencil. And this is our team for the second leg, so no need to make any changes. We played really quite well in that first match, didn't we? So let's just not mess up. Obviously, a three goals to turn around away from home. If they fill this place, which it looks like they are, 47,000 people here, and Yano's picked up an injury almost immediately, and Solano isn't really fit enough to come on for him. So that's the kind of thing that does potentially cause problems. We're going to leave Yano on as long as we possibly can. And then as soon as he completely falls apart, then we bring on Solano, I think is the sensible thing to do. in the circumstances. What we'd really like early on here is a goal, please. Unlike most football matches, we'd like to score a goal in this one, just to give us that little bit of comfort that the 4-goal cushion does give us. I mean, that is not an ideal substitution to make 20 minutes in, but this is what I was saying about needing midfielders. You can never have too many central midfielders, can you? We have got Uehara sat down there on the bench, so he would be an option to come on. Although normally I bring him on as the more advanced of the two in the Hidaka position. Ogihara has got a counter-attack going here, though, releases Okada. And because of my red-green colour blindness, I can't tell if there's anyone up supporting them. Ogasawara bursting through, forces the save. And now this is an opportunity for Aprile. Aprile's not on the pitch. Why is Aprile not on the pitch? What have I done? I thought I'd not made any changes. I mean, we've played a league game in between. I've literally lost Aprile. I mean, I don't even know. Maybe he's suspended. I looked through that team and he was, I mean, well, that's why we didn't score from it, because the game screwed me over. I'm sure he was there when I picked the team. 0-0 at half-time. It's almost as if we were 3-0 up and I wasn't particularly worried. We are leaving Yano on. Solano is more important to us as we look ahead to his potential final. So if I can avoid completely breaking him, if I have to completely break Yano to do it, I would rather have Solano ready for the final than Yano. Obviously, in an ideal world, we have both, but Hidaka's been Mr. Champions League this year, so it's going to be one of those two playing alongside him, and I'd rather have the best player in the J-League, who is returning from his injury, and oh, that was very nearly the cherry on top, the rubber stamp moment, but couldn't quite keep his header down. And now this is where we start to enter a little bit of a danger zone. We are going to take off Yano. I think I am going to bring on Uehara. I don't want to risk Solano. We'll drop Hidaka further back. Kim is going to come off for Shimura. And we'll also bring on Takagi to play it right back. We just got to keep things nice and fresh. We don't want to risk stuff like that happening. It's all good. It's all fine. Let's not worry about it. It's still 0-0 on the night, 3-0 on aggregate. It's been a very even match. Damak look like they are winning the other semi-final. So it is looking like it's going to shape up to be the final I think we were probably all expecting. We're going to take off Omata. Hori can come on for him. Hidaka is having a rare poor game. Inamura can come on for him, and just shuffle those two around and just don't balls up from here, lads. It is Okada with a counter-attack. He's not really got anyone supporting him other than Uehara, who slots it back to him. It's Okada. I mean, he's shattered. He couldn't get past his defender. We're going to have to rotate fairly heavily in our league matches leading up to this final because our players are getting tired. They're playing a lot of football. There is your rubber stamp. It's Okada. It's a 7th of the season for him. The moment I arrived here in Osaka, I told you he was going to be a super duper striker. I never doubted him for a second. And there is the goal that books us a spot in the Asian Champions League final at the first time of asking as well. Let's not paper over that. This is our first continental campaign of the entire series. And we might be about to win our first of 5 Champions Leagues that we need to complete our Pentagon challenge. But there is your confirmation. Semi-final 1, and we should just get confirmation of who we're playing in the final now. We are playing Damak, the reigning holders of the Champions League. They are top of the Saudi League. They've won the Saudi League by miles. They don't seem to have a whole load of fancy foreigners. They seem to have done it with a fairly Saudi team, other than Eddie Peacock, a very Portuguese name in goal. But Okada gets a pat on their head, and we will be back on Monday for our live 2-legged Champions League final. I didn't realise it was 2 legs. There you go. Live 2-leg Champions League final, 3 p.m. kickoff on Monday. I'm literally checking my calendar now to make sure I'm not supposed to be anywhere on Monday. I am not. 3 p.m. kickoff live here on YouTube and Twitch. and we hopefully sort our first Champions League final. For those of you who don't want to watch live and only want to watch the replays, it's 3 matches, because we have to obviously play the in-betweeny one as well. 3 matches. It's going to take us like half an hour. You'll be all right. You can watch that one on a replay. But if you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.